Chief? Huh? Yeah, you're on leash. What do you think about that? Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit people-y with all of their dogs. So, this is my meditation walk and my journal rambling. It's between me and spirit. And, well, I upload these because YouTube obviously accepts a heck of a lot more than Facebook, and easier to access 9 times out of 10, and for myself. And I've had things in Google Drives and boxes and so forth, and then downloaded them onto a external drive, and well, then everything got wiped out. So this allows me to, if somebody gets something from it, great. If not, by all means, scroll on. Hakuna Matata. So, thank you, Spirit. I have taken, since Monday, I believe it was, Monday, I began the process of flatlining, so to speak, doing a detox with myself, which included social media and all that kind of stuff, and as well as dietary, doing fruits and nuts along with my protein shake, my meal shake. It's more of a meal shake, not just protein. It's a full meal deal. And I believe I even skipped that 1 or 2 days. Anyway, mainly listening to music, listening to Rashini. He's my chief. And resting, and just being with myself and peeling those layers of other people's stuff once again off, and being with the energies. Rashini and I spent a lot of time down here. We spent a lot of time configuring and working with Hoopsie. And oh my gosh, we finally released all the rest of the gifts. Yeah, from like spring equinox or spring solstice, happy birthday, Merry Christmas, winter solstice. I mean, the list. But my gratitude, sending out the gifts and sharing my gratitude with those that have been very, very prominent and important. And there's a lot of them that I have released and let go of for many different reasons, but that does not mean I don't love them, and I'm not grateful for the times that we have spent together, what they've taught and shared. And so a lot of gifts went to the river or to the Humane Society in honor of certain ones, and others really needed to be mailed and sent off. And so finally, oh my gosh, walking into the post office with all of that, and then coming back out, and it's like, yes, 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 thank you, thank you, thank you, Great Spirit. So, and then listening for the next steps. And so when I heard later, like last night was the first time I really kind of took and listened to a lot of the Eye of Wisdoms, and I listened to a lot of the other astrology ones, and caught up on my 3 favorite tarot readers. They just do one once a week. One, she only does it like once a month for each sign, which I definitely appreciate. It's not like it's going overboard. The other 2, I kind of unsubscribed and was like, if you pop up on my newsfeed, great. However, between the astrology and my 2 favorite tarot readers that don't go overboard with the readings is like spot on. The others, it was because not that they're not good. They're very, very good. And the wisdom they share is beautiful. They were very, very spot on. So it just kind of felt like, overdoing it a little bit. And so releasing and letting go of a lot of that, and allowed much more reflective time for myself. So I'm very, very grateful for the detox, both physically and mentally, intellectually, spiritually. Thank you, Roshini. Can we keep going? Thank you. So, plus I was recuperating and just celebrating some milestones. Definitely feels like milestones for me. And so those milestones being, wow, what a huge difference between last year at this time in a Motel 6, not knowing the fate of anything, to and just staying in that trust, staying in that prayer space, staying in that allowing, and where Rashini and I are today. Wow. And having all that release and shedding and letting go and coming back to myself, that initial prayer of, this is for me, because if I don't do this for me, I ain't going to be any good for nobody else, and you might as well just say adios. And that was kind of where it was at. And so, wow. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you to the animals. Thank you to my grandmothers and fire family, and my adopted mom and dad, and even I've got it. These are unused poop bags. Can't just let them go floating around up here. Pick them up and use them. So, and yeah, the list could go on and on and on. I'm just so grateful. And coming through the Paxier renewal, wow, that Paxier renewal program, and I had a beautiful little releasing ceremony of all of that yesterday at the river. in releasing that into the flow as it needs to be released. And and then I had heard and seen something about the the um, the whole system reset and the nervous system reset. And yes, been doing that nervous system reset. I love doing the resets, especially. I can't believe I have started falling in love with this cold water thing. So this cold water reset is also a nervous system reset. However, there's also one that, and it can take a year to, there's no real set time limit, but it takes a little bit of time in coming to this wow. And so there has been a lot of that this past year for myself, where there's just periods of sleeping and sleeping and sleeping, and then where you're eating, and then you don't want to eat, and your foods, what you crave, and your foods change, and all these different kinds of things. It's very, very interesting. And so I have definitely been noticing that and playing with that. And so it comes back to that. Don't be so hard on yourself. This is interesting. I recognize something going on over here. This is interesting. Okay. Not what I thought. I thought I recognized. So yeah. Thank you, Rashini. You have been the greatest chief and the best partner in the whole wide world. Huh? Yeah.